ready to get your shit together? Isn't that what we are all truly trying to do? In this fun, life-hackful show, we will learn together how to navigate this roller coaster called life. We, as glorious, messy humans, can sit in the proverbial third car, grumpy and bored, or in the front of the roller coaster having the time of our lives. What do you choose? In this show, you can expect meaningful content and practical takeaway tools to make life easier and exceptionally more joyful. There will be epic guests who already love their lives, allowing them to share their get your shit together tips and words of wisdom. Life is too long and too short to not love your life. Welcome to Get Your Shit Together Live with Amy Joy. Hello and welcome to Get Your Shit Together Live with Amy Joy. And I'm your host, Amy Joy. Congratulations on your abundance. I love to start the show every week with this one phrase. Congratulations on your abundance. Take a look around. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you have? Notice and think about how grateful you are for those things, for the food in your belly, for the kids running around, for the house and roof over your head. We are so abundant, and the more we notice, the more abundance comes to us. So congratulations on your abundance. I am so excited about today's show. Today we're going to answer the question of the week, which is, how do you balance the male and female energies within us? And I'd like to mention the mature or the divine female and male energies within us. So we are going to talk to an expert today. Her name is Allison Mayah Rose Rogers, and she literally specializes in the feminine energy. And we're going to learn the 4 archetypes of the feminine energy and so much more. So stay tuned. And you want to stay to the end for mantra magic and the meditation, and at the end, the blessing. Thank you so much for spending your very valuable time with me and with us, and so excited to have you here. Awesome. All right, so now it is the time of the show for Change Your State Elements. All right, so this is the part of the show where we take 2 minutes to change our state, and we want to go from whatever we are to a higher frequency. All right, so low frequency is suffering like anger, shame, guilt, frustration. High frequencies are love, joy, peace, calm, ecstasy, gratitude, right? And the way we feel, our emotions every day dictate how we feel about our moment and our day and our week and our month and our year and our life, right? So the more we can change our state and elevate it to a beautiful state, the more we're going to enjoy our life. And that's what this show is all about. So today we are going to do a breathing technique, and Harvard University of Medicine recently just published the benefits of breathing, and specifically deep breathing where your belly pops out. All right. And so what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in 4 beats. And I want your belly, when you breathe, to pop out. Now, in our culture, we have a program that says flat bellies are more attractive. And we're always trying to, I know that I do this, is keep our bellies in, right? But this is not the time. Right now, we're going to let it all hang out. And you're going to breathe in 4 counts. You're going to hold for 8 counts, and then you're going to exhale using your mouth, exhale out of your mouth 6 counts. So you're going to breathe in your nose 4 counts, hold for 8 counts, and exhale for 6 counts. Letting that belly come out, filling that first, and the lungs second. All right, so let's breathe in together. Breathing in now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale out of your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Deep breath in and exhale. Now, those of you in the chat on Facebook, so awesome to see you here. Thank you for being here. And please interact and let us know how you feel after just that one breathing technique. Do you feel calmer? Do you feel happier? What do you feel? And is there any difference? All right. I was just counting, but just me doing that alone has helped. Rudy says that helped. Awesome. That's great, Rudy. Let us know where you're coming from too. I'd love that. And if you're watching the replay, love to know where you're coming from too. Just put hashtag replay and let us know where you're from and how this has been for you. All right. So now's the part of the show where we get our shit together. Awesome. This is the segment where we learn some nuggets and we answer the question of the week. And the question of the week is, how do you balance the mature masculine and feminine? Now, I know this is a really, really, I guess, touchy subject for lack of a better word. I want everyone to know that I am speaking purely from my experience. If you don't believe there is a male or female energy, that is totally cool. I do. And in my experience with all the thousands of people that I've worked with and interviewed and counseled, it's a very prominent thing in our lives, and we're not taught about it. I know I wasn't. And I know many of the people that I talk to really haven't been taught about the different energies and when to call on certain energies. Often we are just running on a program, and it's the program that was given to us by our childhood, by our parents and our governments and language and friends. And it's not your fault that you have the program, but it is our responsibility as glorious, messy humans to pay attention and to figure out what it is that's running us, and then decide what we want to keep or throw out. Yeah. So I want to show you this. This is a really, really cool slide that explains the mature masculine and feminine. Because what in the world is that, right? And I'm going to change the background here for you so that you can see properly. All right, here we go. So the mature divine feminine is self-assured, has diversity, has empathy, is devoted to the masculine, has intuition, is understanding, is auspicious, serene, and healing. All right. The mature or divine masculine, when it's at its best, is humble and interdependent, honoring, worships the feminine, emotional and mental balance, selflessness, accepting, encompassing, and mindful. Now, here's the thing. We have grown up in an imperfect world, and there's some real hurts, right? And there is some programs that have happened. And so oftentimes our mature or divine self, whatever you want to identify with, gets wounded, right? And look what happens when you are normally self-assured, because everyone, if you put a 1 in the chat, if you have self-assured in you, right? You do. At times you have it. But when you are in your wounded feminine or your immature feminine, that actually turns to attention seeking. Who here knows somebody who is like that? When you look in the mirror, is it you? Right? We all do that because there's times when we're in our immature, wounded feminine, and there's times when we're in our mature and divine feminine. All right. Look at this empathy. When you're empathy in your divine feminine, if you're in your wounded, it turns into blaming others. Don't we see that a lot in ourselves and in everyone around us? Not to judge them, but just to look and observe. Right? Some of the other ones, as we get attached, we start manipulating or seducing, trying to control. Guilty as charged. Overly emotional and cathartic, passive aggressive, where we can tend to be victims, anxious, and we get unconscious in our sexual relations. That means we're being selfish and not thinking about the other's needs, right? Now for the masculine, when it's wounded, humbleness turns to arrogance. Interdependent turns to ownership. Woof, I've experienced that. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. Honoring turns to shame. Shame being one of the lowest frequencies that exists. Shame is hard stuff. Worships the feminine turns into hates, dominates, and suppresses the feminine. How many times have we experienced this, right? Selfishness turns to competitiveness, accepting turns to judgmental, encompassing turns to avoidant, and mindfulness turns to unconscious sex as well. All right. So again, this is all about awareness. So if we see these traits in ourselves, we can go, oh, wait a second, I'm in my wounded feminine. What would be my mature feminine? What is it that I want instead of this behavior? And you can consciously, intentionally switch, right? And you can, and it's all about awareness. If we're not aware of how we're being, what we're thinking, how we're feeling, then we can't change it. But as soon as we become aware, that's that glorious, epic moment where we have a choice. And so I'm really excited today to bring this to light with Allison Mayah Rose Rogers, because she knows this inside and backwards. I've been training with her for a couple of years now. She's completely changed my life. She is one of my mentors and friends. And I've taken many of her courses, probably 5 in total. And I have to say, I'm going to get emotional. I am where I am today, largely in part because of her and her wonderful husband, who emanates the divine masculine so lovely. The two of them together are unbelievable at what they do. And I'm going to read her bio to you right now. Real quick, 1 second. Here we go. So this is Allison. Allison Mayah Rose Rogers is a renowned intuition expert, author, media host, and speaker. She has been featured on stages, media, and virtual platforms around the world, including Fox, City, Summit, the World Women's Economic Forum, Hollywood Entrepreneur, and more. In 2016, she wrote and published the book Soul Intuition. Allison hosted her own cable TV show, Spotlight, which aired in California from 2016 to 2019. I have huge respect for this, especially now. She is the co-owner of the Influencers channel on Voice America, where she also hosts the show Spotlight, the Allison H Larsen Show. In 2016, Allison founded the Speakers Coalition, where she has worked with some of the world's top speakers and stages. Her clients have included professional athletes, Olympians, world-renowned speakers, and well-known influencers, as well as up-and-coming speakers. She has received multiple awards for her work in the speaking world, such as the Award in Excellence presented to her by the City Summit Foundation, as well as the Super Connector Award presented by the Les Brown through the Winner's Circle Mastermind. She is an amazing connector. Allison also founded Speaker House Publishing in 2019, which has published over 24 bestsellers. Today, Allison enjoys leading legendary retreats. Woo woo, we're going to talk about that all over the world, and her husband, where high-performing, intuitive entrepreneurs gather to align their greatness. She also enjoys working with women, teaching them the art of femme intuition. Allison's greatest loves include being married to her husband, her handsome husband, being the mother, stepmom, and mother-in-law to 10 children, and eating chocolate. And I must say, she missed something very important. The next thing that she also loves tremendously is boba. All you boba lovers out there, put your hands together and welcome the amazing Allison Mayah Rose Rogers.
I'm over here blushing, and you're right. I need to add boba into my bio. I need to add boba and my grandbaby. Those two things.
Boba's not there. That's crazy.
I know, but I did put that in there, and it really works because now when people read my bio and I'm speaking at an event or something, I'll get random people coming up to me, gifting me chocolate all the time. So I'm wondering if I put boba on there, maybe I'll get, the boba gifts as well. So
of course you will. That's amazing. So Allison, I would love for you to connect with the audience just for a minute or two, let them know who you are. And I'm going to duck out and let you do that.
Well, thank you so much. I think the bio covered it. And thank you for your beautiful introduction. Somebody asked me recently, they said, "Who are you?" And I said, "Oh, that's interesting. I am the strength of the mountains, the peace of the river, the light of the sun, the playfulness of the moon, and the love of the world." So that's a little bit more about who I am. And I'll just share a brief story. We're talking today about the divine feminine and divine masculine. And that's something that I am completely passionate about, because this is a dance that I've had with the divine masculine and feminine, with the yin and the yang throughout my life, which led me to many different accomplishments and achievements, and a lot of them that you read about back in about 2018, 2019. I found myself at the height of my, professional success. I was constantly speaking on stages with celebrities. I'd gone from basically this stay-at-home mom / closet entrepreneur from a town of less than 5,000 people in Idaho to an international speaker, having TV shows, radio shows, a reach of 2,000 people to 2 million people. And even though I'd had all the success and I used a lot of the principles that I teach people today to get that success, what I found was that I was actually completely depressed, and I'd had an imbalance between my masculine and feminine energy, between my yin and my yang. And what this created in my life was a depression. And this depression was because I wasn't in balance. I wasn't fully living my purpose. And so I remember waking up one morning. At the time I lived in Phoenix, Arizona, and I woke up in my house, and this had gotten so bad that I woke up and I said, "God, do you even still love me? I'm not even sure that life is worth living anymore." And at that very moment, I'll never forget, there was this little blind slat that was broken on the blinds in the master bedroom, and the sun hit it just right. So I had sunshine on my face. I felt this overwhelming love from the divine. And I knew something had to change. I knew that I was loved. I knew that although I was making a big impact in the world, that my life was completely out of balance, and I had to do something about it. So that day I grabbed my backpack, I grabbed a notebook, I grabbed a pen, and I climbed to the top of a mountain by my house. And I sat at the top of that mountain. I said, "Okay, God, universe, a higher power, whatever you are, I need to know what to do." So I pulled out my paper. I wrote at the top, "Dear Allison," and I started writing a letter to myself. And in that letter contained all the information and advice that I needed to be able to create this balance between the masculine and feminine in my life, including things like graduating from the current marriage I was in, making some changes in my business, really focusing on better connections with my children. And I remember climbing down the mountain and with each step thinking, okay, now that I have this information, I need the courage to act upon it. I need the courage to act upon it. But I did. And fast forward 3 years later, even just a year later, 2020, 2021, immediately things started getting better. But fast forward 3 years later, I was getting married to my soulmate, my partner. You mentioned him before, Gerald, who we partner in business, we partner in life. I was leading retreats all over the world. I was waking up every day in love with my life, feeling so fulfilled, so happy, and really most importantly, I felt like I was being that conduit of light and love and really fulfilling my purpose on the earth. And around this time, I'd also gone to a Joe Dispenza retreat. For those of you who haven't heard of Joe Dispenza, he teaches about meditation. And one day I was meditating after this retreat, and with this desire in my heart, I saw other women struggling like I had been struggling. I saw other people that were struggling with this balance between the divine masculine and feminine. And they would either be too much in their yin or too much in their yang. And it was creating this imbalance or this depression in their life. So I went into this meditation with the desire. I want to be able to serve and help people in the way that I found this happiness in my life. I want them to be able to find the happiness. And during that meditation, this whole program was downloaded to me, or the beginnings of it at least, in which I could help teach other women to find this happiness in their life. So immediately started teaching and rolling with it. And I've been so privileged to have worked with thousands of women all over the globe. I've worked with men and women through our retreats and teaching them how to really balance this divine masculine, divine feminine to create happiness in their life. So that's a little bit more about me.
Yay. You know how much I adore you. Thank you for all you've been through and what you've had to go through and transcend to be the person that you are today. I appreciate you. I love what you're sharing there about the yin and the yang. I didn't even know that was a thing. I was in my masculine. I had that muscle down big time. And I had, in essence, rejected anything of the feminine. And I really can say almost anything. I don't know that I respected almost any of the qualities. And I think I was focused on the wounded feminine that I saw around me, and wasn't focused on the divine and mature feminine that I saw around me and in myself, right? I didn't even look at it. So the question of the week is, how do you balance that male and female energy? And I know that's a big, huge question, but how would you answer that?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to address that based on the cultures we were raised in, based on our parents, based on our religions, all of these things, we developed or created stories about what was good or bad, right? So for me, I had developed this story when I was younger that women were supposed to be in their yin, submissive. You're supposed to get married and do whatever your husband says, stay at home mom, don't speak up too loud, don't say too much. Like, this was the idea that I got that women were supposed to be. So for a long time, I was stuck in my yin, right? I was afraid to move forward. So first of all, it's just to identify and to have compassion on yourself. Like, where are you, too much in the yin or the yang? And of course, in order to be able to do this, you need to understand what the yin and the yang are. So I would suggest studying that. We don't have time to go into it today. Yeah. But, the other thing that was really helpful for me, and when I sat in that meditation and based on some things that I'd heard and also, the things that I experienced in my life, I realized that there are actually 4 archetypes of the divine feminine. And the divine feminine is a balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine within the divine feminine. And the divine masculine is a balance of the feminine and masculine within the masculine. So it's really important to understand. But for these 4 archetypes, 2 of them are yin and 2 are yang. And these archetypes are like these personalities that are within us, or these different parts of us that can show up in different ways or in different spaces in our lives. And so if you really understand what these 4 archetypes are, when you want to be able to utilize them in your life and having a good relationship with all of them, meaning that you can transition back and forth between these different personalities, this is what creates the balance. Do you want to know what the 4 are, Amy?
I do. Yes.
No, you know what they are.
Of course I know, but I want everybody else to know.
We'll tell the audience. So the first one is the healer. And let me just share my screen here, because I know there may be some people that are visual learners. So I always appreciate this. So let me just share my screen really quick here. This is really easy, and we'll give you a good idea of what the healer is. So the healer is this part of us that when we're in balance, meaning that when we have a good relationship with our healer, which is a yin energy, and much of this you talked about in that sheet that you showed before, this is that part of us that in the divine feminine is aware. We're aware of ourselves, how we feel. We're aware of other people. We're aware of the environment around us. We're connected to each other, to the environment, to other people. We're intuitive, patient with ourselves and others, unconditionally loving. And when you're out of balance, this is when you notice things like you become needy, the martyr, frumpy, or you may become a pushover. So that's our healer. All right, next one I'm going to show you here. And you'll see quizzes pop up. I'm not going to share those today. I do have quizzes with each of these archetypes to help you identify where you are with each. I'll share with you at the end how you can get those quizzes, take those to see if you're in balance or not. The second archetype is a masculine or a yang archetype. So it's the divine feminine yang archetype, which is the warrior. So this is that part of us that is in balance. When we're in balance with it, we're focused, we're determined, we're a producer, a protector. This is that part of us that knows how to get stuff done, that can create results in our life, that can set boundaries, and that really provides the safety that we need in order to feel like we can be fully expressed in all of these archetypes. Now, when this one's out of balance, and Amy, I heard you say something about this before. This is when I hear women say, well, I'm too much in my masculine energy, right? I'm being too forceful, masculine, insensitive, or harsh. So, so that's the warrior. And where the healer is very much about what do I need? How can I fill my bucket? The warrior is very much about how can I create that momentum and go get results in the world. The next one, I know I'm going through these really fast, but I'll share with you how to find out more information at the end. The temptress. This is the one that's triggering for a lot of people. If you feel triggered, notice it, observe it, ask yourself why. But the temptress, when you're in balance with this part of you, that's a part of you that feels sexy, not for anybody else, but for yourself. You feel good in your body and your skin. The temptress is a yin energy, and it's that part of you that feels flirty and fun and carefree. And I'm talking about flirty with life, right? You don't take things too seriously. You're able to enjoy the moment. You bite into a strawberry and you're like, oh my gosh, you feel the juices bursting in your mouth. You go outside and you enjoy the sun on your face. This is all about enjoying the present moment now. When you're out of balance, this is when you can be irresponsible, insecure, attention hog, slutty. You talked about that a little bit to begin with. And then the last one, the last yang energy, is the queen energy. And this is all about the long-term vision. So remember, again, the healer is all about what do I need to fill my bucket? Warriors, how do I produce results right now in the world and create safe boundaries? The temptress is about how do I enjoy this moment now and have fun with my life? And the queen energy is all about the big picture. It's about the long term. It's about being confident, responsible, being in charge, delegating, so that you can run your queendom. Now, when you're out of balance with this one, you can get bossy, demanding, controlling, or become a perfectionist. And the great thing about all of these is when you have all of them in balance, when you're able to access your healer, when you're able to access the warrior, the temptress, and the queen, when you have all of these energies within you and you know how to access them and call upon them in different situations, this creates what we call the divine goddess energy, or the balanced divine feminine, which allows you to be the creator of your life, be in balance with the yin and the yang, be in flow. Abundance just seems to flow and come to you. You feel peaceful, happy, connected. And of course, you have access to your full femme intuition. So in a nutshell, that's my life hack. If you understand those 4 archetypes, how to use them, where to use them in your life, you will be balanced in the yin and the yang. You'll be able to create the results you want in your life. You'll wake up every morning in love with your life, and you'll be making the difference in the results, and you'll be creating, that your purpose in the world, fulfilling your purpose. So.
It's totally true. It's totally true. I feel completely different about myself and my life after doing this work. Mm-hmm. And it is a dance between them, and you just call on the one that you need at the time. And when I remember when I first did the quiz, I was like all in my queen and warrior. I mean, I was like so high, and my other ones were like barely had numbers. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ooh. And remember last week, we talked about how it works when you're out of balance. If your car has 3 tires and one's flat, it's not that you can't get down the road, but how fun is that ride, right? But when we can get into balance, then it just flows so much better. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Allison. We're going to have a brief commercial. Hang tight with us, guys. We have a free gift for you. Allison has a free gift for you, and we're going to talk more about it. So we'll see you in a minute. All right, we're back. So funny. Doesn't that commercial remind you of your grandson?
Yeah. So
Like
cute.
the same age, right?
Mhm.
That little
Mhm.
giggle. So cute. All right. So Allison, what do you have for the audience today?
Oh my gosh. Well, what I would love to offer is the opportunity to take a quiz and find out where you are with each of these 4 different archetypes. I know, like Amy said, just understanding and knowing which ones you're strong in, which ones you need a little work on, where you're out of balance in your life. Awareness is the first step to transformation. You can now take that information and you can start to implement things that will transform your life. If you go to fem-intuition.com, I see it down at the bottom. That's www.fem-intuition.com. I have a free 40-minute masterclass. It's a mini masterclass that you can watch going deeper into these 4 archetypes, where they might be showing up in your life. I also have access to just a brief quiz you can take. There are 4 mini quizzes, one on each of the archetypes. You're going to get a score at the end. And so you'll know, hey, I'm super high right now in the healer, but super low in the warrior. I'm super high in the warrior and the queen and super low in the healer and the temptress. And this will just give you an overall big picture view of where you may be out of balance in your life, so that you can create awareness and start moving forward and have that balance in your life, so you can really create the life that you love, because you deserve it.
Yes, absolutely. And Allison, I would love to know, like, what's your favorite testimonial of the work that this has done in your clients' lives?
Well, yours that you just gave at the
Oh,
beginning, that's my favorite. I was getting all teary-eyed. Here's another one. This is a really powerful one. And I think that what I love to see is when I work with people and we work with these different archetypes, it's not just information, it's activation. Let me say that one more time. It's not just information, it's activation. And I
Yeah.
give, everybody the information about the archetypes, but then we activate a different energy within us, so that we can activate this part of us that's like dormant for a while. So like you said, you had a couple of years laying dormant, Amy. We were able to activate those. And when you activate these parts, your frequency changes. Bruce Lipton talks a lot about this. I just listened to a wonderful interview by Bruce Lipton, just went to a conference, and he talks about how when we have new perceptions or different mindsets, it actually belief systems that send signals down to our cells. Those signals are received by a protein receptor. It changes our DNA, our cellular structure, and then we emit a signal out into the world. And here's a testimonial that I got from a client that I loved. I just began working with her, and we had worked on the healer, activating the healer within her, activating this energy of really loving herself and being connected with herself and being intuitive on what she needed and filling up her bucket. And she had been in a relationship with a man where this was his third chance she'd given him. She felt this pull towards him. She had a great sexual energy with him, but he had, lied, he cheated, he'd stolen from her. And she just was, he was like a twin flame. She was trying to let him go, but didn't quite know how to do it. Well, we did the healer activation. And we raised the frequency of her cells to align with this unconditional love, this healer energy within her. Now, when we did the activation, of course, it changed her frequency. Right. And she called me about 4 hours after this activation, and she said, well, that activation worked. I went home and he was there and he was upset about something. We got in a fight and he's gone. And she's like, immediately that frequency repelled the things in her life that didn't align with her healer. And then what was so beautiful is throughout the week, she attracted all of these things in her life that did align with the new frequency, opportunities, works, relationships with her friends. And now we're further down in her work together. But I really loved hearing about that. And she said, this really changed my life and my perspective. The fact that just being a different frequency really creates the life that you love. It calls in the things that are going to magnetize towards that frequency and repels the things that don't.
Absolutely. Change your frequency, change your life. Period. I mean, in all the things that have been going on in the last few years specifically, that's what I kept coming back to. I just keep coming back to what I can do is raise my frequency. That's what I can do. And that changes the world. It changes my life within the world, and it actually changes the world. I mean, we've both been to Dr. Joe Dispenza's workshops, multiple ones, and knowing the frequency and how it offsets the world. What are the numbers? I have it in my book, Get Your Shit Together. I have the numbers there, but how many people at a high frequency offsets?
Oh my gosh. Well, according to Dr. David Hawkins, in his book, let me see if I can remember this right. One person in vibrating at the frequency of non-judgment, which, by the way, they can measure these frequencies now using magnetic instruments. You can actually measure the frequency coming off your body, right? One person resonating in the frequency of non-judgment counterbalances 90,000 people resonating in guilt and shame at lower frequency. One person vibrating in unconditional love counterbalances 270,000 people. Okay,
let's
surprise.
Practice unconditional love.
Yay! Oh, that's amazing.
Hi, we were talking.
You feel the unconditional love.
This is the amazing Gerald Rogers, her sexy, handsome husband that they're madly in love.
270,000 people were just blessed by her unconditional love.
Amazing.
Gerald's the one when Amy said, "This is my divine masculine counterpart." Here he is, right here in the flesh. So
we're gonna talk about your retreats here in a minute. So
amazing.
Yeah. They're epic at retreats. One of their superpowers. Good to see you, Gerald.
Love you.
Oh, awesome.
Speaking guest on the show today.
What?
I said surprise guest on the show today.
I know, that made my day. That's so great. So go to www.fem-intuition.com, peeps, and go watch that masterclass, learn, grow, get aware, take the quiz, and then take steps. If you want to get future help from Allison, you can reach out to her there. And her course is literally life-changing. I've watched it change many lives as well, besides myself. So yeah, for real. All right, well, let's talk about your retreats, the Legendary Retreats. That's the name of their company collectively, is Legendary. And I have a brief video here. Here it is.
Yay. Let's watch it.
We were just in Hawaii together, and the theme of the week was relationships. Your relationship with yourself, your relationship to the land, your community, and your partnership. Magic.
co-creating with the land, and here you're getting into this beautiful Hawaii, all about the energy of this big island. Whereas our remembrance, we are remembrance and all belong to me, and it's all around us now.
Nature, the nature there is just, it's buzzing with activity.
Who's that crazy lady in the hat?
This peacock would follow us around. It was so fun. Oh,
beautiful
so
video.
good. So good, so good. So where's the next trip, the legendary?
Oh my
Where are we
God.
going next?
We are going to be in Sedona, Arizona, co-creating with the land, and the energy vortex is there. Of course, that's our next legendary retreat. But Amy, we've got a women's retreat coming up through Legendary just in a couple weeks on Amy's land, her beautiful retreat center there in
Yes, we
Cabo.
do.
So really excited about that one.
And if you are interested, there's a couple spots left. You can go to amyjoycoaching.com/retreats. There's an application there. You can sit down with me and we'll see and make sure it's a good fit for you. But we are going to dive deep into the archetypes in the glorious, lovely, amazing, epic Los Cabos.
Yes,
So
and the frequency of Amy's retreat center there is what, like over 600? We were talking about frequencies, and each day we're going to be focusing on a different archetype. Day 1's the healer, day 2 warrior, day 3 temptress, day 4 queen, which of course then creates our goddess energy. So we'll be doing our goddess initiation and activation. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. So yeah, please, if you feel called to come, Amy's got a couple extra glamping tents that she got put up, and we're so excited to co-create this together. So
yes, it's going to be so much fun. Thank you, Allison. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for the free quiz and masterclass for our peeps. Hang tight. We'll have you on at the end here. And I appreciate you so much, and I love you.
Love you. Mwah.
I'll see you soon. All right. All right. This is time. This is time for one of our favorite segments of the show. Mantra magic. Woo! All right. This is the part of the show where Kelsey Garcia, my beautiful, amazing friend and professional singer, gives us a poem or a quote or a song, and it's inspirational, and it's something that you can listen over and over and over again that lifts you up instead of the often thoughts that we have, like I'm not good enough, life is hard, all these things that just really aren't true, unless we make them true, right? We have a choice to do that. And we also have a choice to change our mind. So here is the mantra for this week.
Welcome back to Mantra Magic. My name is Kelsey. So good to see you. This week's topic is about masculine femininity. So this is just a quick mantra to keep you in your own flow, the balance of life. Let it in, let it go, let it in, let it flow. Here I am, no need to plan. Let it in, let it go, let it in, let it flow. Here I am, no need to plan.
Let it in, let it go, let it in, let it flow. Ooh, that's a catchy one. I like that one. You can go to Amy Joy Coaching on Instagram to follow and to hear the mantra of the week. You can also see Kelsey there. It's amazing just to have something new every week to just change our state. Again, that's another way to change our state and elevate. All right, now it is the time for a commercial. We'll be right back for our meditation moment and the blessing. Stay with us.
This world is changing more and more every day, and we've decided to change right along with it. My name is Dr. Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the president of Trajectory TV Network. At Trajectory, our vision is to provide a creative platform for top content creators and storytellers from around the globe. We're also dedicated to providing this world with content that is healing, educational, empowering, exciting, and above all else, entertaining and transparent. So right now, I invite all of you who believe yourselves to be global game changers to use the link found here and simply take a chance. Schedule a virtual chat where you'll have the opportunity to share your vision for your very own global television show with me, the network president. So use that link, and together, let's begin changing and healing this world, one story at a time. And remember, whether you have years of experience in front of the camera or zero experience, it doesn't matter. What matters the most is your desire to share great content through television and a willingness to share it with passion and with purpose. You might ask, how do I know if I've fallen in love with my purpose and my purpose has fallen in love with me? It's easy when you've lost your voice because you just can't stop talking about it. I'll see you soon.
All right, meditation moment. This is the segment of the show where we take 5 minutes to chill. We take 5 minutes to calm our minds and to just be present. So I encourage you, wherever you are right now, to stop what you're doing. Just stop. If you're driving, well, of course, just be careful. But just stop what you're doing. Get the kids to join you. I'm going to lead you. Super easy. This is a meditation I learned in India at the World Center for Enlightenment named Ekam. Ekam stands for oneness. Spent 28 days there in silence, in meditation, learning, doing processes, and basically having my life completely changed. It's the best thing and the most profound thing I've ever done for myself and for the planet. And if you ever have a chance to go or check it out, go to ekam.org. It's an unbelievable, amazing group of people doing divine things. So this is called the Serene Mind Practice. You can find it on YouTube if you want to do it yourself. And I'm going to play some beautiful music by the amazing composer, Gary Malkin. He was on one of our past episodes, so you can check that out. He's so talented. He is also been mentored by Allison Mayah Rose Rogers. So I want you to just breathe for a minute. And just observe the breath entering and leaving your nostrils. And let that air go all the way down into your belly. I want you to feel the air on your skin. Taste the taste in your mouth. And I want you to observe, what are you feeling now? No guilt, no shame. Don't make it right or wrong, good or bad. Just observe. What feeling do you have right now? I want you to observe, is it Are you having thoughts of the past? Of the present? Or are they thoughts more of the future? Again, it's not right or wrong, good or bad, just observe. And now I want you to visualize a light, a candle, burning right in front of your eyes. Notice all the gold and white. Any other colors, red, orange. And then move that flame slowly into the middle of your mind, into the middle of your brain. And just let it flicker there. And with your hands on your heart, I want you to think about something you're grateful for. And as that gratitude fills you, I'm going to be sending some love and light and activation of energy. Receive it if you want. If you don't want to receive it, that's okay too. And with a deep breath in, and then releasing anything that doesn't serve you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I want to bring the amazing Allison Mayah Rose back on here. How was that for you, Allison?
Relaxing. Thank you so much, Amy. I love your ability to help people remember to slow down and find the answers in the stillness.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. We are going to introduce the question of the week. And the question of the week for this week to ponder is, oh boy, where is it? There it is. What if you could dance with your fear?
Well, I have danced with my fear. You talking about fear, F-E-A-R, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and I learned something very important when I did that. Part of what I teach with balancing the divine feminine, divine masculine, and is to really learn to love all parts of yourself, the shadow part and the light side as well. And what I found to be true, Ganesh said this, who of course is an Indian god, he said the obstacle is not in the way, it is the way. And when I've danced with my fear, I've actually found unconditional love. When I've taken the time to really dive in, there's always unconditional love on the other side.
Yes.
So dancing with fear is just merely dancing with unconditional love for ourselves.
I love that. And freedom's on the other side too. So we're going to dive deep into that next week. Thank you, Allison, for being here. Do you have any last words for our audience? We have about 20 seconds.
Remember who you are.
Hmm.
That all problems come from forgetting who we really are.
Hmm.
Let's help remind each other every day. And thank you for helping remind me, Amy, and all of us. Sending you so much love.
Thank you, babe. And go to FemIntuition, fem-intuition.com. Receive your quiz and your mastermind. Thank you, peeps, for being here. If you want to dive deeper, if you want to find out about retreats or coaching or my book, Get Your Shit Together, and you want to get your shit together, go deep, get it. It's amazing. I wrote it for you. So,
And come to our retreat in a couple weeks in March.
Please join us. Please join us. All right. Remember, together we vibrate higher. And that, my friends, changes the world. We'll see you next week. Besos. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching Get Your Shit Together live with Amy Joy. If you'd like to follow us, you can on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Amy Joy Coaching. Appreciate so much your likes, comments, and shares. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please reach out. We'll see you next time.